Some interesting things you may not know about the 2007 Toyota Camry XLE with the V6 engine in it. This particular model is equipped with the push-button start, which I'm not a huge fan of. It works. It really tries its best to emulate a key, and in most cases it does a fine job of that. Personally, this is way too complicated. There's no reason for all this kind of crap. The engine immobilizer does nothing because thieves have gotten a lot more high-tech, and they can clone your key fobs and get that and satisfy the car and drive off as if it's their own. So a couple things that I wanted to show you. First is with the power windows. This is the only car that I've ever experienced this in. In any other car that I've been in, if you hold down the button, I don't have the key on or the ignition on. If you hold down the button and while you're holding it, you then go and turn the ignition on, the window goes down. It's very hard for me to hold this, so let me see what I can do for you. Sort of sandwich it there. You can see my finger is on that. That's the accessory position. And now the ignition is on. I'm still holding that button down and it doesn't work. You let go, then the window goes down. Very, very odd. Shut that off. I don't know why it does that. Same goes with any of the other windows as well. Incidentally, there is a recall on the power window switches. Allegedly they can catch fire or something like that. And I said, you know what? Toyota is probably going to fuck it up worse than it already is, so I'm not doing that. We're just going to leave it. It's been fine. It's been operating perfectly. So, you know, I'll just be mindful of that. Obviously, if it catches fire, then I guess maybe that's the end of the car, but then, you know, we'll deal with it then. I'm not really concerned about it because I think they would end up damaging it further. In the time that this car has been on the road, this has separated from here. I don't know why that is. I found that a lot of Toyota door panels have started deforming in the heat. I don't know if anybody else owns this car or if theirs is like this, where it's like that, where it bows out. Another thing on this one, and I got the car this way, is you see the ripple here. And I think what that is somebody putting their arm there all the time and the sun baking it, and it just made it soft and it ended up, you know, wrinkling it or something like that. And the other thing they didn't do right on this car, if you look here at the, I don't know if you can see like the bubbles in that, this padding material that has like a pleather coating on it or whatever it is, it definitely does not feel like leather. Either wasn't glued down properly or the foam behind it gave way. One other thing of interest with the car, this one isn't really a hack as it is in the owner's manual. Normally to start the engine you would press the brake, the light goes green, you press and release the button and it will go and start itself up in that. You can also hold the button down and that will continue cranking it, but for some reason the car actually knows once the engine has started, and it's going to go ahead and let go of the starter anyway, even if you hold it. So I'm going to go ahead and hold it, and it'll crank a little bit longer than usual. Hopefully you can hear it. Just that little extra bit that it ran. The book says that you can hold it down and it'll continue cranking for up to like 30 seconds or something, and it doesn't seem to do that. I would think that the computer, knowing that the engine has started, would stop it cranking anyway. So anyway, that was really it, just the power window and the holding the start button down can make it crank a little bit longer. Not that it actually ends up doing anything, but it's there nonetheless. And one other thing I figured I'd mention, if anybody owns this car, you may have noticed that your sun visor kind of hangs like that, and it doesn't really want to close up. It just hangs a little open and doesn't really want to stay where you put it. Well, Toyota screwed this one up. The sun visors and all of these end up breaking, both sides as a matter of fact. So I looked online and I actually found a company that sells a kit that you can purchase that would allow you to fix your existing sun visor. But I didn't feel comfortable doing that repair myself. They also have an option where you can send your sun visor away and they'll fix it and send it back, and that's like $70 as opposed to like $40. Well, anyway, I contacted them and set up an order for them to fix it, and I was going to ship it to them, but I emailed them and I said, hey, how long is the turnaround? How long do I have to wait to get it back? And I didn't get any response. And that scared the crap out of me, because 2 weeks later I got a response, and the response was, oh, terribly sorry, we were on vacation, it takes about 2 days turnaround time. And I said at that point, you know what, I'm just going to buy another one, because you're not even answering a simple question. I understand you can go on vacation and you can go to areas where there is no internet, but you know, everybody has phones, laptops, everything else. You'd think if you're running an online business, you'd at least post something on the website stating that you're going to be away. So I ended up purchasing a new one. I think I found it on eBay for about $70, $71. It was very, very easy to put in. I don't remember how I did it at this point. You kind of just pry this down and it pops down and then it pulls out and something. I don't really remember anymore. But when I got the new one, it sort of plugs up where it's supposed to and then snaps in. You snap that in and that's good. So if your sun visor on your 07 Toyota Camry, no matter if it's the XLE or not, they're going to break eventually. So be prepared for that. There was no recall on these sun visors, unfortunately, and Toyota simply did not want to man up to their mistake on it. Anyway, thank you for watching. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.